Hey everyone, Marcelo Buri with Greater Athens Properties. Thanks for tuning in. Today, my guest is Rob White, proprietor of Neighborhood Books, published author here in Athens, Georgia. Thanks for taking the time, Rob. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Marcelo.
Let's start right at you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am someone who started writing when I was a kid. I think my first writing project was a spec script for a Smurfs episode. And then I started getting serious about writing when I was 14. And I've been writing for 14-year-olds ever since because most of what I write these days is young adult fantasy.
Fantastic. You have a couple of books published?
I have a number of books published. I've had short fiction published in magazines in the UK.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got stuff kind of all over the place.
Fantastic, man. Nice to know. Tell us a little bit about Neighborhood Books.
So Neighborhood Books is a bookstore that is kind of books on wheels. There's a website. You can order books and I will deliver them to you just like Uber Eats. I also take a book table around to various events around town, Farmers Market, Indy South, Winterville's Marigold Festival, just to name a few. And I also host my own book selling markets, places like the historic Athens Fire Hall. And what makes this particular bookstore different is that it is 100% local authors, people either from Athens or from the surrounding cities. So it introduces readers to who's in your backyard. It's some familiar names and faces and some people that you just had no idea were created.
Now, what drives you to do what you do?
So, I mean, mostly somebody who has been spending half my life trying to get my own writing out there. I've spent years and years either sitting in, book tables by myself, trying to self-promote, or in later years working with other authors and realizing at that point, like, I'm having so much more fun when there are people that I can do this with. So what's driving me right now is giving people that opportunity to experience that, to get their stuff out there, to skip the awkwardness of doing self-promotion alone, to actually...
Camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly. Camaraderie is a big part of it, and just being part of something, a little bit bigger while getting your book out there.
Yeah. Now, Rob, tell us, what are your biggest challenges doing what you're doing?
Like any startup business, finding funding, and my overhead is very small. I don't have a brick and mortar, so I'm not paying rent other than my house. I'd say that it is a little challenging getting out to these places and bringing a product that people aren't necessarily expecting. Like Farmers Market has been hugely successful for me so far, but I get a lot of people doing a double take and being like, books? And maybe there's an author selling a single book or their own product there, but having a whole bookstore on a table at a farmer's market, people don't expect it. And sometimes they have to walk by twice before they figure out what I'm doing, or they get delighted by it. And so I suppose it's a double-edged sword.
Anyhow, so let's see here. What would you say is your goal?
Really to just kind of keep doing what I'm doing. It may be on slightly larger scales over time, but continuing to give authors a chance to get their stuff out there. And now I've built this library, so to speak, of 60 plus authors and close to 150 books now from people who are local, and I'm constantly being approached by people who had an idea for a book or a memoir that they've always wanted to write. And I've been able to help get them in touch with local publishers or local editors or formatters or cover artists, to where now I know that those people might have a book out in a year or 2 years' time, and they will be on the table.
That's nice. Where you're really, once you're sharing your knowledge and your expertise, and you know the way, you're just showing them the way, and making the connections where you need to talk to this guy.
Exactly.
Fantastic. I mean, that's got to be rewarding, man, when you see somebody
Yes.
that you saw a year ago with an idea, and you fast forward and here's the product.
That's exactly right.
Awesome.
Even my own father, he's gotten inspired by some of the independently published authors that he's seen me carry, and now he's writing multiple books.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's the domino effect.
Yeah.
That's nice. And then if we now switch gears, we're in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah.
What do you love most about Athens?
I love the opportunity of Athens. It feels like there's always something cool going on, always someone interesting doing something cool. And you just stick around long enough and there's something brand new right around the corner. Not to mention, if you have a cool idea yourself, let the call out there and people will come to you to help you get it done. So what started as for instance, me with a dozen authors turned into 60 within the span of a year, just because we're that kind of town,
Right.
where it's just bursting at the seams with creativity, and people flock to that.
Yep. I mean, it's in every aspect, from books to music to
Exactly.
restaurants, where they have different ideas and creating new things.
Yeah, some of these authors are also painters, musicians, dancers.
Yeah,
It runs the gamut.
that's nice. It's a nice town.
Yeah.
Lots of talent.
Yeah.
Lots of talent.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Do you have a favorite restaurant?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I'd say Maypole is my favorite for the food. Like, I frequently find myself there picking up a bowl of different combinations of stuff, and I always have new sauces. So I enjoy that. But also, I enjoy the atmosphere at Cali and Tito's. It kind of can't be beat, and I'm talking about both locations. But I do particularly like the Lumpkin location, where I just
Lumpkin,
sit
yeah.
outside and
Yeah,
enjoy a
Lumpkin's nice when the
afternoon.
weather's nice to sit
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
That's where I go if I'm craving a Cuban sandwich.
Mm.
That's the best in town. Their bread, it's amazing.
I'm a chorizo taco guy.
Chorizo taco. Yeah, no, I mean, they have a very nice menu. I've had the carne asada there on the platter, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of food.
I recently discovered they have pretty good wings too. Chicken
Wings,
Yeah, not bad.
I had no idea. They
Yeah, I
had
didn't
wings
either.
there. There you go. So when you're not working, when you're not helping people find a way, what do you do for fun usually?
Well, first of all, I do write. I work on my own independent projects, mostly based on dreams. I have a dream journal that I wake up and jot things down, and I'll get up and write the rest of the story to find out how it ends. But I also just kind of wander around town. I'm a big long-distance walker, so I've had a couple people, say, "Hey, you're the walking guy," and I really just kind of walk around downtown, just existing in my head, and sometimes that brings me ideas too. just
Absolutely.
being out in the world.
So what would be the best way to contact you?
So the website is neighborhoodbooks.com, short and sweet. The best way to reach out to me would be rob@neighborhoodbooks.com. Pretty easy to reach out to, and reach out to me with book ideas. Reach out to me with questions about how to get involved in the local literary community. I'm happy to be a resource.
Fantastic. Well, again, my name is Marcelo Buril with Greater Athens Properties, and today I interviewed Rob White.